There's a big pressure on public services to save money, and the fire service is no exception to that. There's an expectation that the fire service will become more resilient. It will be much more intra and interoperable with other organisations. And at the same time, there's an expectation that local communities will be served by the fire service in a much more proactive way. If you can manage your staff better, more efficiently, more effectively, you've got a big driver for saving a key cost in the fire and rescue service. And what StARS MS does, it actually addresses the key issue of the largest cost in the fire and rescue service. It doesn't manage for you, but it actually facilitates good management in a fire service or in any organisation.
Well, we've been working with the London Fire Brigade for 20 years now, and one thing we discovered very early on in that relationship was there were a lot of manual, time-consuming processes that could be much more efficiently undertaken if you embrace and adopt technology to support those processes, to be more efficient in terms of how they run their operations and to provide a better service to the public. Efficiency from a fire and rescue services perspective is about providing the same levels of public safety, the same levels of emergency service, but having to do it at less cost. So everything we've done in terms of our focus is about finding those efficiencies, making the delivery of the service and the frontline service, more importantly, much more cost effective. We're trying to match technology to underpin business processes and help other fire and rescue services in the UK. Those efficiencies and the savings in cost of operation apply to any fire and rescue service. The StARS MS system can be applied for rostering and attendance management to any fire and rescue service and show the same benefits, but just at a different level based on the number of people in the organisation. When the Olympic Village was built, the London Fire Brigade needed to have an Olympic Village fire station, but rather than building a physical fire station, we created an Olympic Village fire station within the StARS system, and we put appliances into that station, and we had crews for those appliances. And those crews were actually drawn from stations surrounding the Stratford and Olympic Village area. So there were no coding changes, it was purely configuration of StARS to support a change in requirement and a change in the shape of that part of the London Fire Brigade's operation. I think StARS MS's strongest point is it's been developed from the ground up purely as a rostering and attendance management system for the fire and rescue services. So everything about its design, everything about the way it integrates with other systems, and everything about the way it's used, whether that's at the station level, by HR people, by station managers, it's all been designed to do what they need it to do as part of their role and part of their function. Any fire and rescue service, probably 80% of their annual budget is spent on personnel. And StARS MS directly addresses the efficiencies of managing thousands of people within an organisation. Historically, that was a very, very time-consuming and manual process, and with StARS, it's totally automated and happens within a few minutes, as opposed to what predominantly was a few hours previously.
We chose to develop our own system because we went to the market to see what was available, and there wasn't anything that met our requirements. So we was able to work with Moore Stephens to develop StARS that matched exactly what our resource requirements were and what the application was required to do for London Fire Brigade. The impact of StARS across the LFB has been significant. There isn't a single aspect of the work we do within the organisation that hasn't been impacted and improved by the introduction of StARS. The standby module within StARS enables us to look at staff availability across the organisation and match that availability against shortfalls elsewhere, and that enables us to move staff either on the day or in advance. Managers have access to a suite of reports available within StARS to enable them to manage their attendance of personnel at stations and satellite locations. We use StARS to help us manage attendance, monitor sickness absence and support safe systems of work. An example of this is the sickness management. Managers will receive a prompt to ensure they enter the sickness correctly, to ensure that the ongoing contact with the individual is maintained, to ensure that welfare contact with the individual is maintained, and also prompts to ensure that the individual is supported in their return to work. This provides a single standard across the organisation. The key benefits of StARS have seen the reduction in a large amount of paper-based processes, which has now been automated, which has freed up managers' time to concentrate on core activities and organisational objectives, and much simpler for managers at both stations and satellite locations to complete their personnel records. The availability of live data within the system has given us confidence in our decision making around our resource requirements. The information within StARS has been shared across a number of applications from different suppliers to support key decision making about our present resource position, also our future resource requirements.